Shitty old bog. Yeah! Alright, so it's been a minute. I've actually been focusing on this thing a bit more than the car, but today we're gonna get some bog work done on the already vented Fender before I move to the crazy cratered one, because Kevin sanded it down a bit and it's looks like Freddy Krueger. So, got more work to do on that before we can start doing other fun stuff. So, let's get to it. Alright, so we've got this Fender somewhat bolted on. As you can see, everything lines up pretty okay. You can see that super sweet rocker panel dent I've got right there. I've got the bar stock out, got the welder out, and we're gonna start working on this long nose. All right, so we have our long nose inner frame welded on and bent. You can kind of see here the curvature on the nose here. Hopefully this works out and doesn't look awful. I guess we'll see when the whole thing's kind of laid out. And then I have this second bar here to show you where the sheet steel that goes on top of this is going to sit. So now we get to play a game of measure 40 times and cut once, hopefully. All right, so we've got our piece cut out here. We've got our Fender frowned down a wee bit here. There's the top of the Fender. And then we'll have to make an entire piece that curves and matches that. That's gonna be lots of fun. So here it is. It is definitely rough, but that's nothing that little bog won't fix. This had to be notched around this little hump here, and don't worry about this gap because there will be a whole other piece of sheet metal that bridges this gap to here. But that will be its own separate piece. That was just way too much work for one go, and I didn't feel like myself over it. So hopefully a fairly natural looking curve and not too round. It is considerably flatter on the end than it is on the Fender.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
All right, so as you can see by the now painted motorcycle, it's been a minute since we worked on the long nose, but we have the factory hood removed, and we have the spare parts bolted onto the Cresta outside. So let's go take a look at how that looks. Here's how the Fender is looking right now. If we squat down here, you can kind of get an idea of what it's gonna look like with the hood properly done and the other Fender on. You can see the big single vent here and how that looks in there. I'm gonna have to cut the tabs off the inside of the fender vent because those are gonna get just absolutely mauled by the tire. We have the hood kind of properly gapped here and started grinding down the edges where we're going to weld our square tube to make the frame for the hood. So now I know these videos were kind of skipping around. A lot of this footage either came out funky or was corrupted when I started editing all the footage. So unfortunately, there's going to be some pretty gnarly gaps in what's going to be in this video, but I'm going to try my best to kind of explain what has been going on, what has been done, and what I'm going to be doing in the future on this thing. Hopefully nothing else goes wrong. Never know. I have pretty terrible luck, so we'll see.
Was it before you started filming?
Parker City, Blackwell area, 68 degrees today. Winds southerly at about 15 with gusts of 25 miles an hour.
Today is a new day, but I am going to be doing the top skin on the long nose. So I'll show you where that's at. This is a very shapely hood, so I need to get rid of some of the waves and dips that exist in this hood. And so I'll show you how I've kind of cut it to do away with all that. It still needs a little bit of grinding and adjusting, but this is what it looks like right now. All right, so we've got the nose kind of cut here. I still need to do the center hump. You can kind of see it was sagging a little bit, so I gotta brace it down the middle to keep it nice and round. But this is cut nice and flush. This side as well, it's been ground nice and flush. Got the dead batteries to hold it down here. I'm thinking I'll probably notch this center guy up until you can't see this anymore, and then I'll blend it that way. I think that'll be the easiest way to go about it. Well, it started to rain outside, so everything got moved in here, and I wanted to kind of test fit and see where things needed adjustment. As you can see, you know, some of the creases here are pretty bad and need to be adjusted. There's a slight dip in the nose here that needs to be filled, but overall, it looks pretty cool. You can see the point a little bit more with the fender on. I also have the grill kind of sitting under here, so you can get an idea of what that's gonna look like. That'll be pretty neat with headlights in it and actually mounted on the car. I think this is where we're gonna call it for today's video. Hopefully it doesn't rain into this shop and we don't have to bust out the mop and bucket again, because that happened all of last week. All right, so that's where we're calling it for an afternoon, month, week, whatever. I'll just turn this into another part 2 of this, or part 4. I'm not good at math. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell your friends that Good Call is back and doing big things and riding motorcycles and building long noses. Spread the word. Anyway, thanks for watching.